You let us know, you tell us no you'll Bill if your battle in the event that your child is undefeated in the rec center. Congrats that you got a 100 feeted contender in an exercise center that things quick Ryan at cracking Pereira. Yet the way that shrewd is Javant for making him go to 135 and afterward, making giving him a weight provision you can't rehydrate in excess of 10 elves. Who's behind him, sibling the Cash Mayweather. That person is savvy. Brother Mayweather has ruthlessly ridiculed Bill Haney. After reports flowed that Devin Haney discharged him as coach in the meantime, David Benefitt's places that Ryan Garcia's slight weight benefit assumed a vital part in his triumph over Devin Benefitt's. Said I feel that 3 pounds helped a ton, particularly since he didn't attempt to make the weight. He seemed to be the greater man. That day, I think Ryan seemed to be the greater man that day. And I think generally with every one of the trickeries Ryan Garcia was doing during instructional course, I didn't think he planned to seem to be that it's very recognizable that Ben Aids holds a position on weight, particularly given the discernment among fans that he's more fit to cruiserweight yet decisively drops to 168 balls to acquire an edge in rehydration against his rivals. Benavides added, I thought Ryan had been playing all through instructional course. That additional 3 olds truly helps a ton, particularly when there is no rehydration hook. He certainly weighed all the more in the meantime. Devin Haney confronted a huge number of misfortunes on the game-changing evening of the battle, only 7 days past, from misjudging Ryan Garcia's solidarity to surrendering to his mental strategies, and at last not performing at his pinnacle. It brought about a staggering loss that is certain to wait in discussions for quite a while. Many highlight Garcia's expanded load as a critical calculate Haney's disappointment. That night, a minority of fans and specialists hypothesized that Haney's decision of boxing footwear could have blocked his exhibition. Haney brandished a restricted release pair from the regarded Mark Dread of God. In spite of their in vogue appearance, they appeared to be deficient in help. Eddie Hearn, Haney's advertiser, said something regarding whether they influenced Haney's presentation in the ring. Hearn said, you need to see, however, inside those boots are legitimate boxing boots. So dislike they were only a couple of Dread of God Uggs, they were made for him. I don't think the boots had a say in the misfortune, yet perhaps it was an ill-conceived notion. I don't have the foggiest idea. Yet I don't think they caused him to lose the battle. Hearn poured a container of frosty authenticity on the idea. However, he recognized the expected imprudence of the decision should Hearn get his desire. Haney will bind up legitimate boxing boots for his next session. It's savvier to err in favor of mindfulness. Then again, rages Pry, the ex-WBC light welterweight champion, thinks that Devin Haney ought to back off on the grumblings in regards to Ryan Garcia's additional during their session. Pry distinctly reminded Haney that he, at the end of the day, built up by 25 elves for his December battle, where he grabbed away Haney's title belt. Poor suspects, the fantasy got help with building up for his new session. However, he abstained from referencing it at first, pondering his own previous weight control. Pror now feels now is the right time to stop mourning and push ahead. Pror referenced that Devin had done it to him, and presently Garcia had done it to Devin. He noticed the size of Devin in the ring during his battle, and commented on the huge increment, expressing that while battling at 140 lb, one couldn't normally acquire 25 pounds short-term as certified by specialists. He stressed that IVs were fundamental for such fast weight gain. I mean, it's a circumvent, come around kind of thing, brother, as they did it to me. And it happened to them. That is all. You realize you can't say anything negative about assuming that you took the battle. That is the reason I never truly expressed nothing about it. He realized I perceived how enormous he was, and in the ring. And in truly, brother, like in the ring, that he looked, I imagined my battle out against him. He looked greater than his battle out against Ryan. He only for me. That is my thought process. Perhaps could be off base, perhaps right. I don't have any idea. Yet he just looked somewhat greater when he battled me than Ryan, in light of the fact that to win you, when you fighted 140 elves, and to explode 25 pounds for the time being each specialist, each clinical individual. They say you can't do that. Normally, you must have IBS to do that. Pror was blunt when he advised Haney to stop sulking over what had unfolded with Kingry, and accused him of putting on weight without approval in December. Pror brought up that placing IVs in was not allowed, considering it unlawful. He referenced that as per his agreement, being exorbitantly enormous was not permitted regardless of its illicitness. He decided not to address it beforehand. Pry featured that while Devin was currently communicating worry about the weight issue brought about by Ryan Garcia, he, at the end of the day, had encountered it without submitting any questions. He proposed that in the event that such conditions continued, it very well may be ideal to keep away from the battle. Out and out in my agreement, IVs is unlawful. You shouldn't do IVs. It was unlawful in my agreement. UO expected to be that large. He should be. It was in a real sense unlawful. Yet I let it go. It resembles, toward the day's end. I won't worry over nothing. I'm a man. It's called responsibility. Whatever, I won't get it done. But rather now, since it resembles, he's crying about the weight issue. Yet you did to me, you realize. I did not say anything, you realize. After it was done, I let it go, I assuming that in the event that that is the case, don't sign the agreement, don't battle. Yet Ryan gave him an extra 1.5 million. So it resembles okay in a conflict of titans. Last April, Ryan Garcia and Jervin Davis got down to business in a lightweight exhibition at the renowned T-Versatile Field, making way for one of the most enthusiastically anticipated in closing fights late memory. The undefeated Symbols met in Las Vegas for a non-title confrontation, finishing in Davis, conveying Garcia his debut vocation route with a 7th-round knockout 1 year after the fact. The scene has changed emphatically. Garcia's shocking victory over Devin Haney last end of the week cemented his status as a chief fighter in the domain. Immediately taking advantage of the opportunity, he strongly requires a rematch with Davis, reigniting their contention past the ropes, while additionally stirring up the blazes of rivalry with the WBA lightweight champion. During a new digital broadcast meeting, Garcia strikingly stated that Haney has the ability to overcome Tank Davis. If they somehow happen to go head-to-head, should such a standoff emerge, it would for sure be a stunning upset. Garcia said boxing is a wild game. Haney pulsates him out of unadulterated volume, simply knows how to utilize his arrive at will. Garcia scrutinized the legitimacy of his loss to Davis, considering his triumph against Haney. At 25, he attested his presentation against Davis was frustrated by shortcoming in Vegas, and strikingly pronounced he could win over Jabana with considerably more noteworthy predominance than his success over Haney accomplished through a larger part choice. After an entire 12 rounds of extreme fight at 144 elves, Garcia believes one more opportunity should take on Davis, yet Tank is certain he can polish Garcia off again. In since erased posts on X, Davis said all that needed to be said. Ryan resigned now.